Let me tell you what my greatest fear was my entire life. It wasn't spiders, it wasn't snakes, it wasn't even birds, even though birds do make me a little uneasy sometimes. It's okay if I see a bird just kind of flying around, but when I see a bird and it's just standing right in front of me, and I know it could just fly and flap at me at any moment, it's a little unnerving, I'm not gonna lie. But it's not any of those things. It's not even heights or being in tight spaces. My biggest fear was being misunderstood, to the point to where I had many situations, and I mean, the people who know me best probably can't even believe this, but I've shed a lot of tears over being misunderstood, especially within my family or the people closest to me. It was something that really weighed heavily on me. It was something that led to anxiety. It led to me having a knot in my chest. I cared what other people thought, but I didn't care enough to stop doing what I was doing. I wanted to be accepted for who I was. I wanted to be accepted in what I was doing. I wanted people to see what I saw and knew what I knew. And I thought that was possible for the longest time. And I'm here to tell you it's not. And it doesn't have to be. Nobody ever said when you started on your path to whatever you're doing, whether it be writing a book, creating a video game series, making YouTube videos like this one, nobody ever said that everybody in the world or anyone in the world is going to understand what you're doing, especially not when you're starting out. I love this example because it's something that fascinates me every time. If you've ever seen an artist make an image from scratch, create something from scratch, the original sketches, the starting sketches are going to be sketchy. You're going to think, oh, this looks very basic. This looks like something any normal person could do. I could probably learn to do that. But the hours pass by and the artist continues their process. And slowly you start to see this painting come together. You see this drawing come together. And you end up with something photorealistic. Something that started off as something that looked like an amateur. You'd think, this is who everybody's flocking to see draw live on the street? It's just drawing boxes. She's just drawing a face that I could draw. Those eyes, those look like eyes I could draw. But when the shading comes in, when the mastery comes in, it's something that you could never fathom doing yourself. So you may not be at that point yet where people can see your mastery. I know I wasn't. And it frustrated me. It hurt me. I felt like people didn't see my vision. But I wanted them to. I wanted to force them to see it. Let's talk about fear. Let's talk about other people. Other people can't be changed. Not by you. Other people are going to change when they decide to change. You can't force someone to change. You can't force someone to see something that they can't see. Your vision was given to you for a reason. And sometimes it's hard for you to even see your vision. Sometimes you doubt. Sometimes you fear about the future. So how can you expect somebody, especially somebody who loves you and has spent years with you, years by your side, how can you expect them to just see the best possibility that you see? They might see the dangers more than they see any of the possibilities. And that's okay. The issue is your fear of that. Your fear of the situation. Your fear of the scenario where they don't see your vision. That's the issue. So how do you fix that? How do you change the fear? Because the truth is, we're still all going to want to be accepted. We're still all going to want to be loved. We're still all going to want to have people recognize where we're moving and support us. But we're accepting that nobody's going to see our full vision. It's tough for us to even see our full vision. How can those two things relate? How can those two things exist at the same time? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly how. You have to understand what fear is and conquer it. Fear is a decision. Fear is a choice. There are so many things in our lives that we don't want. I don't want a thunderstorm to start and a tornado to scoop me up. At the same time, I'm not necessarily fearing that happen right now. Number one, because the circumstances aren't really showing that as a big possibility. If the circumstances were different, maybe I would feel different. But based on the circumstances around me, there's nothing that's telling me that this is a likely outcome. So I can't go into the situation of fearing. This is what life is. You know it's possible, but you recognize how unlikely it is. This is what life is when you learn to let go of fear. Still, you have to let go of fear, right? When I first learned about tornadoes, there was a tornado that hit a neighboring city here. This is a city I grew up in. City right next to us, it got destroyed. That was scary. That was terrifying, actually. Seeing people from one day to the next, homeless. People here one day, gone the next. Something dropped literally sky and destroys the city. You think about that. And I don't know if my SD card cut off right there, but I'm going to say it again. Something really can just drop out of the sky and destroy a city. Same time, we walk around, we drive around, we live our lives. And we're not necessarily using this method because when the stuff is close, that's when it gets scary. When the stuff becomes more likely, or we think it's more likely, that's when it becomes scary. And sometimes we're going to have to go into that storm. So how do you do that? How do you equip yourself to go into a storm? Just like when those tornadoes hit, we went under the staircase. We went into a closet under the staircase. That was our plan of action. This is your plan of action for when the storm hits. Giving it to you right now. I know, I've been dragging you out. You're like, man, what is it? What is it, man? What is it? What's the secret? I got you. Fear is a choice to have a negative experience if something happens. I'm going to use the example of spiders. No, I'm going to use the example of birds because something I'm still working through. If I see a bird, I'm face to face with a bird, typically, and a bird just flew overhead. That's funny. I'm face to face with a bird, and I know it's not an open space. Maybe I'm on the porch, and I don't have much room to maneuver. There's an uneasiness that comes about me that I can't control. That uneasiness, that's your instinct. It's your instinct saying, hey, pay attention to what's going on here. You need to pay attention. You need to open your eyes, open your ears, make sure you're aware, because something could happen here. That's all that is. That little bubbling in your stomach, that little pinch, that's all that is. Nothing more, nothing less. Pay attention. What happens in your brain when you feel that? Oh, it's a bird. I don't like birds. This bird might attack me and flap all over my face, and I'm gonna have feathers in my nose. And I just hate birds. I don't like birds. Birds are scary. I don't like them. They're too unpredictable. That is one path that you can take. That would be fearing. That would be becoming anxious. But when you do that, when you become fearful, when you become anxious, you lose sight of reality. Because the truth is, yeah, it might be a little embarrassing. Yeah, it might be uncomfortable. Yeah, it might not be what I want to do on my Thursday morning. Have a bird flap around my face. But guess what? 5 minutes later, I'll probably be okay. Maybe I get clawed. Maybe. But I'm probably going to cover a weird feeling. I'm going to kind of be like, But at the end of the day, and once again, the SD card said it was messing around. So yeah, it might be a weird feeling. It might be something that makes me go, I didn't like that. Maybe it's something I think back to. But at the same time, it doesn't really disrupt my life. Now, spiders might be a little different. Same time, I've never seen a spider just jump up out of nowhere and bite somebody. Spiders have to crawl. Spiders can be squished. Spiders have to crawl. Spiders can be squished. Right? So, looking at these things and understand, it might not be as bad as I think. It might not be what I thought it was. Yeah, it's something that I don't desire. It's something that I would like to avoid. But at the same time, if it happens, I can handle it. Right? And if I can't handle it and it ends my life, well, then there's nothing to worry about anyway. But I have a plan of action. I can see past the fear. If that bird attacks me and flaps all in my face and the feathers go everywhere, yeah, it's going to be kind of like a comedy movie scene. But it's something I can handle. It's something I can survive. It's something I can get through. You start to peel back the curtain and say, okay, yeah, I don't like this. It's not what I would choose for myself, but it's nothing I can't handle. I'm not going to have the negative experience as if it just happened. Because guess what? Nothing has happened. I'm just face to face with the bird. It's me and the bird. Nothing's happening. There's a lot of stuff that could happen, but just as likely as, even more likely than the bird flying and flapping at my face, is the bird just flying away because it's scared of me. Why in the world would I sit there and be more terrified of the bird than the bird is of me? That bird, if I take a couple of steps close to it, yeah, it might panic and fly at me, but 9 times out of 10, it's going to fly in a different direction. It's going to go save itself. But if I choose, because of that instinct kicking in, that little feeling in my stomach, that little pinch, if I choose to turn that into fear, choose to turn that into anxiety, I have a negative experience. Our goal is to have positive experiences. Because when your performance is on the line, whether it be speaking on camera like this, or a job interview, or an athletic event, if you're dominated by fear, you're not going to be able to perform at your best. You're going to be focused on surviving. You're going to be focused on not dying in that situation. So when that happens, when that kicks in, guess what? The priority isn't excelling. The priority isn't being your best. It's just being. You're not looking for the best option. That's the issue with fear. That's the issue with becoming anxious. That's why I found, hey, what other people think of me, it has way too much control over me. I'm giving it way too much power. So I have to let go of it. Even though my SD card has been giving me a difficult time with this one. So I'm going to wrap it up. Bottom line was, I want people to accept me. That hasn't changed. I want people to approve of what I'm doing. That hasn't changed. At the same time, I'm not living my life in fear anymore of what they'll think, of if they'll approve. I'm trusting that I'll find mastery and continue to develop my mastery. And as I continue to do that, more people will see. Still doesn't mean that everyone will see. No one will ever always, there will never be a case where everyone sees your vision. That will never be the case. And that's okay. Your vision is yours for a reason. Your responsibility is to make it as clear for others as you can make it. And if you do that, and regardless if you do that or not, I want you to remember, the best is yet to come. And I appreciate you watching. Hopefully the SD card didn't cut out so many things, but I'm going to be getting a new one this week. So that'll make things a little bit easier. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there so I make sure to do it. I'll see you tomorrow. Or on the next video, which is going to be here. And the option to subscribe and see daily videos just like this one, be right here. I'll see you wherever you choose to see me next.